Most scientists agree that water is the key to life, and where you find water, you might also find life. And because plants are living things, water is also critical to the development and growth of plants. One reason is for the transpiration stream. That's right. Did you know there is a stream of water running through plants? No, not a traditional stream with rocks and fish, a transpiration stream. But before we jump into that transpiration stream, we need to talk about a few properties of water. Water is both cohesive and adhesive. Cohesive means that it likes to stick to itself. An example of this is when you see water out on leaves of plants. If those water droplets come together, they stay together. That's an example of cohesive. Adhesive means it will stick to something else, sort of like adhesive tape. An example of water being adhesive is after a heavy rain or the morning dew, you'll often see water particles hanging or clinging to the tips of the leaves. The other thing to know about water is it is known as the universal solvent. A solvent is something that can dissolve other substances. Water is known as the universal solvent because it dissolves more substances than any other liquid. The majority of a plant's water is absorbed through its roots. And because we know water is a universal solvent, any of those nutrients, and including fertilizer that might be in the soil, get dissolved in that water, and that's how it's taken up through the plant. But what causes the water to be drawn up into the plant? For that, we need to talk about capillary action. Have you ever put a paper towel in some water and watched that water climb up the paper towel? This is capillary action. What is a capillary? A capillary is a small tube. And in plants, that small tube is called the xylem. And that's how the water travels from the roots of the plants all the way to the top of the plants. But capillary action will only work so far until it can't overcome the force of gravity. But we know there's some really tall trees, some that are over 300 feet. So how does water get from the bottom of that plant all the way up 300 feet? For that, we need to talk about humidity. The inside of plants has 100% humidity. The outside of plants, unless it's raining, does not have 100% humidity. That moisture is trying to find an equilibrium and will lose moisture out of its leaves through pores called stomata. This evaporation process is called transpiration. On rainy days, the plant doesn't transpire as much because of the humidity outside of the plant. On hot, sunny, dry days, the plant transpires a lot. As that water transpires out of the leaf, it pulls more and more molecules up from the base of that plant, and that's called the transpiration stream. This uninterrupted stream of water molecules moving through the plants is called the transpiration stream. And the cool thing is this is happening in all the plants all around us. The rate at which that stream is traveling depends on how hot or humid the day is outside of that plant. On hot, sunny days like today, that water is evaporating or transpiring out of that plant quickly, which means it needs more moisture around its roots to draw up through the plant. On humid, rainy days, it's not transpiring as much, so the stream is moving slower, therefore, it doesn't need as much water at the base of that plant. That's why you have to water your plants more often on hot summer days. Don't believe me? Try this easy, fun experiment at home. Get a glass of water, just plain tap water, and add some food coloring. Red color often works the best. Mix that up so that it has a nice solution there. Again, water is the universal solvent, so it dissolves that dye. Then get you some celery. If you can find some celery that has some leaves on it, that would be the best. Cut a fresh cut at the base of that celery so that it's ready to absorb moisture. If your celery is slightly wilted, that's okay. It just means it's thirsty. Place your freshly cut celery into the dyed water. Let it set for a few days and you'll notice that the red dye will slowly transpire up to the tips of the leaves as the water evaporates out of the plant. The reason why this experiment works so well is because celery is actually a plant stem. You can see here we've had this one set overnight and the red water was pooled up through the celery and now has dyed our leaves as the water has transpired out of the plant. You want to make sure that you have plenty of water so that there's enough to completely fill that plant as it's drawing up that water. If you have a celery stalk that doesn't have leaves, you can still see this. Here, we can see those red dots are the xylem, where the water's taken up through the plant, and you can see the red dye has come out the top as the water has exited. Now we did another little example by putting a celery stalk in upside down just to see if it would work. You can see here the red dye was taken up a little bit through capillary action, but because the plant doesn't transpire out of the base of the plant, it did not draw the red dye up throughout the plant. So without adhesion, cohesion, and the universal solvent water, we wouldn't have the transpiration streams that are flowing through all of the plants around us. And that's what makes water the key to life.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.